Quotes of your life. Quotes of your life, Keith Washo.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow ToastMasters family. I'd like to start off this speech by giving you a funny quote, and it's a true story. When Oscar Wilde went to U.S. Customs back in 1882, he walked straight up to that customs official and said this, and I quote, "I have nothing to declare except my genius." What is it about quotes like that that make you remember it? And how does a quote say so much in so little? I'm sure if you stop and think about your entire life, you only remember select sound bites or quotes. Perhaps it's something a friend said to you in college. Like me, I interviewed a fraternity brother, he was a drinker, and I said, "Joe, what is your favorite quote?" He said, "Keith, the drunk mind reveals what the sober mind conceals." And I said, "You know what, that's so true. It's amazing how after a few drinks you begin pouring out your heart, right?" Well, in today's speech, I'd like to take all of you on a journey with me through history. And I'm going to share with you 3 quotes that have changed the world. The first quote is from a man who really changed civilization with what he did. The second quote comes from a world leader who really helped save the world from Germany during World War II. And the last quote comes from a man whose words changed America forever. And in conclusion, I'd like you to think about your life. What will be the quotes of your life? So let's begin. I'd like to bring you back to the 1960s. This is the time when we were at war. It was a Cold War between the United States and Russia. And it was a race to see who was faster, stronger, more superior. In 1961, John F. Kennedy went to Congress, and he proclaimed a goal. And that goal was to be the first to land a man on the moon. And sure enough, 8 years later, in 1969, the Apollo 11 mission happened. And the famous astronaut, Neil Armstrong, that's right, got off the lunar landing and set foot on that moon. An amazing accomplishment. And it was at that moment when the whole world tuned in on their radios and TVs. You could hear a pin drop. And that's when he spoke these famous words.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
He said that's one small step for man, but one giant leap for mankind. And that one quote, 11 simple words, captured volumes of achievement for the whole world. Now think about this. I guarantee you, his whole life was for that one moment. And now his footprint is literally on the world. I ask you to think about your life. What will be the quotes of your life? So let's move on to the next example. Before we do, just a quick funny quote, a true story. When George Bernard Shaw was asked what we thought we would find on the moon, he said this, and I quote, "I don't know if we'll find men on the moon, but if we do, they're definitely using the Earth as a lunatic asylum." True story. So let's move forward. I now want to bring you back 20 more years to the 1940s and introduce you to one of the greatest leaders of all time. It was the one and only Mr. Winston Churchill. And this brings you to a time when England was being bombed severely by Germany during the Great Battle of Britain. Germany was bombing the civilians. It was a hard time. And Winston Churchill visited a very select unit of the Air Force, where these select few brave men were flying around the clock to save England. And many of these men died. And Winston Churchill saw this, and he was so moved because these select few fighters were doing everything to save the whole country. And it was at that moment he spoke this powerful quote.
Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.
18 simple words that captured a volume of gratitude and honor to those select few men who saved millions in that country. Think about your life now. What's going to be your quote? Now before we move on to our last example, one funny story about Winston Churchill, because not only was he a great leader, but he was a really smart man. And true story. He was at a Parliament party, having a few drinks, and this one woman who did not like him came up to him. Her name was Lady Astor. And she just got mean with him and says, "Winston, if I was your wife, I'd put poison in your coffee." Winston quickly responded, "Ma'am, if you were my wife, I'd drink it." For our last quote, I want to bring you back to the 60s here. A time when America was going through civil strife, when the civil rights movement was at its peak. And it was at this moment, in 1963, when the greatest speech was ever delivered. When one man said 4 words that changed America.
I have a dream.
It was the "I Have a Dream" speech by Dr. Martin Luther King. And it was in this speech we remember his famous quotes.
I have a dream.
That one day, my 4 children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And remember his concluding remarks so vividly when he said, "I look forward to the day when all of God's children will be able to hold hands and say, 'Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.'" Because of this man, Dr. Martin Luther King, and his words, America changed. Doesn't that inspire you? Think about your life, what words you can leave behind. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to stop a moment and think of your life. What words are you going to leave behind? How do you want to be remembered? You see, we're all given the same 24 hours in a day. Same light, the same darkness. You don't need to be an astronaut. You don't need to be a world leader to leave a quote that can change the world or even just impact a child. Even Forrest Gump left us with simple quotes, right? Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. I'd like to leave you with a final thought-provoking concept. It's known as living with the end in mind. If you were to die, go to your own funeral. Look at your casket. See all your friends and family around you. What do you want them to say about you? How do you want them to know? And then live the moment right now to leave those quotes. Ladies and gentlemen, what will be the quotes of your life? Father Shannon.